Hello, I'm the Catalyst, and today I'm going to be doing something a little different. Recently I got the chance to play a demo of a new indie game that's coming out, and it's on Kickstarter right now, and it goes by the name of Risk of Rain. It's an action platformer roguelike. If you're not familiar with the type of game, a roguelike is a game where enemies and items are randomly generated, and it's kind of designed to kill you, if that makes any sense, but it's very fun. So essentially you go around trying to survive, and one of the main parts of this game is that the longer it goes on, the harder it gets, so every minute the difficulty increases, monsters will get more health, and harder enemies will spawn. I'm playing as one of the two classes that are currently available in the demo. It goes by the name, I think, the Commando. It has four abilities. Your Q, or your first one, actually it's your one, but I changed the keys. So I guess your first ability is just it fires 2 shots, does damage. Your second one is a armor-piercing shot that will go through multiple enemies. Your third one is a little combat roll that will make you invulnerable and gives you a couple frames of invulnerability, so it's very good for getting through enemies. And your fourth one shoots a large burst that stuns enemies and knocks them back. So one of the main things about this game is you are trying to get pretty much as many items as you can, as fast as you can, because they're pretty much the easiest way to make your character more powerful. This is one of the ways you can do that. It's an imp spawner, so I got pretty lucky there and killed all those imps in one shot with my piercing ability, but essentially it spawns 5 imps, and if you can kill all of them before the time runs out, you get an item. So the item I got there was a consumable. It's called the Foreign Fruits, and it will heal you for half of your HP, which is extremely helpful, and probably one of the best ones in the demo, for usable at least. So this is like the first level, so killing shit's pretty easy, like this kind of mash. And so the main goal of the game is you'll spawn into a level, and the first thing you gotta do is try and find a teleporter. Once you activate that teleporter, a boss and a extremely ridiculously large number of enemies will spawn, as you were about to see because I've just found it. So for 90 seconds, a ridiculously large amount of enemies are about to spawn, and this huge worm also spawns, and I have to kill it. So Magma Worm is probably my least favorite boss in the game to fight, just because it's... Actually, no, there's another one that's a real pain in the ass. But this one's really freaking annoying because it's just hard to hit because it moves around so quickly. It's not so bad when you're playing this class because you're ranged and you can kind of just stay back and shoot it, but the Miner, which is the only other class in the demo right now, which is a melee class, it's fucking annoying to hit. Yeah, so far I've been having a blast with this game. It's extremely skill-based, and it's just really fun to play through. And the randomness of the item drops makes it really fun. And it's got a lot of replayability. So the item I got from that chest is called the... What is this? I can't remember exactly what it's called, but essentially how it works is it's that red vial that I picked up, and every time I kill an enemy, I'll get 2 extra max health. So this was extremely lucky to get right before all these enemies spawn, because that means that every single enemy I kill, I get more max health, and that's that red number popping up. You see that red thing comes into me, and then I get 2 extra max health. So extremely helpful. And so yeah, I just used the active, and that was that Foreign Fruit, so I got half my health back. And this one I just picked up is called a hit list, so every now and then it will mark a enemy with a big ass X. If I kill that, I'll get full health, which is quite handy. This item I'm picking up here is called the ATG Missile Mark 1, and every time I hit something, it has a chance to randomly fire a missile off, which you will see proc pretty soon. So one of the kind of neater things about this demo is that because it doesn't have the same amount of items as there will be in a full game, you get a lot of repeats. So you start getting like, I think in this run I get like a shit ton of these missiles, and I just start proccing them like fucking all over the place. Like you'll see like 6 missiles be coming out of me at once. It's ridiculous. So this is kind of already getting up to the point where it kind of shows you how ridiculous and mob-like this game gets. It's like a fucking 2D serious Sam game or something. I'm fighting like 500 enemies at once. But because it's early on, they die pretty quickly, and now I'm cleared to go to the next level. And I leave my mouse cursor there because I'm a scrub and concentrating too hard to notice. So one of the general things I found with this game is it's best to, once you've cleared all the enemies, try to find as many items in the level as possible before you hit the teleporter, because the next level is only going to be harder than this one, so it's probably good to spend as... Oh, and the other thing is once you go through the teleporter, all your money is turned into experience, but it's not really that much experience, so it's better to spend your money instead of use it for XP. So here I find the barbed wire, which every time I hit an enemy, or I walk through an enemy, or an enemy walks in that like weird spiky circle that is now around me, it will take a pretty minuscule amount of damage, but that's okay. It's pretty good. Which means that when I use that roll ability to dive through enemies when I'm getting mobbed, they'll all take damage. So yeah, with the miner, these guys are actually a pretty big pain in the ass to kill, but with the commando, they're definitely pretty much a sure bet. Especially if you're on a flat plane like that, it's just especially if they all line up, you can just push W and they're all dead. So this is the second level. I think there's only 2 in the demo. I played the alpha as well, which had like 3. There was also it had 3. There was a winter level, which just spawned like ridiculously tough enemies, and it was fucking impossible. The longest run I've ever had in this game was, I think, something around like 50 minutes. But of course, I wasn't recording that. But no, it's legit, trust me. Definitely 50. Well, it was 50 minutes, but anyone could say that. But yeah, one of the things they had in the alpha is that you didn't give up all your money, so you could kind of like you got a ridiculous amount of cash as the game went on. I definitely like what they did where you start with 0, which means that you kind of have to fight some shit before you can start powering yourself up in this new level with all the items that spawn. There are 3 main ways. No, there's way more than that. Okay, so the main ways that you can get items are chests, which I just saw, which is a guaranteed item from that price. There are also statues, which are cheaper, but it's a random chance. They'll either cost a small amount of gold or some of your health, and then they'll either drop nothing, experience, or an item. There's another one, I don't know what they're called, but there's like, you see 3 items displayed and you can pick 1 out of the 3 to buy. Those are pretty lucky to find. And then, here's me professionally checking to see if I'm still recording. Go me. I don't know what I'm doing here. Go me. And then these are just little containers, so pretty much when you're broke and you have nothing else to do, you can open these for an extremely small amount of money. But it's better than nothing, and sometimes they give you health, which can save your ass in certain situations. So this is another thing I like about this game is there's some pretty inventive stuff you have to do with the platforming in order to get to some places. Like, to get that, I had to jump off of that little white thing that boosts you up and then use my combat roll to gain horizontal velocity in order to get over to that platform without falling down and missing it. So this is one of the other altars which costs health, and so, as you can see, it a lot of the time drops to nothing, but this time it dropped a lens maker's glasses, which gives me a chance to critical hit. And if my second ability crits, it does like a stupid amount of damage, so that item's actually really good to get on the commando. And because I have that foreign fruit, I can pretty much use those altars as much as I want, as long as I am patient. And this is the other type, where I pay money and most of the time I get nothing, but here I get a repeat of the same item I got. Yay. And so with the nature of this game, sometimes you get extremely lucky early on and you become like super powerful, which is just the nature of the randomness, and then sometimes you just get screwed. But I got pretty good lucky this time. And at least I fought the first boss pretty early on, so no problems there. So this level introduces a couple new enemies. So the first one is that mushroom over the left with that big ass X on it. That one will make a poison cloud, and anytime you kill it, it will also make another poison cloud as it dies. It's a huge pain. And as you can see, I'm starting to take a lot more and more damage from the enemies as time goes on. And more missiles! Yay! I like the missile. It's one of my favorite passive items in the game. It's very fun. And as you can see now, as the difficulty goes up, the enemies also begin spawning with different elemental attributes. Like that one is making a trail of fire. There's also like poison and electricity and shit. That enemy I just killed is a little demon guy that will teleport behind you and try to kill you, which is these are quite interesting things. This is the ukulele, which has a chance of proccing a chain lightning, as you can see, every time I attack. Also another quite cool item. Oh man, I'm not used to doing post-commentary, and I still have 20 more minutes of this. This is not my best run. It's about 35 minutes, which is still pretty respectable at least. this game gets really freaking hard later on. So yeah, as is the nature of a game like this that doesn't have all of its items yet, you start stacking up similar items. Like I already have 2 barbed wire, 2 ukuleles, and 2 missile launchers. Oh yeah, that was one I didn't explain. So this one is surrounded. That's that green thing that is circling around me, and if I touch an enemy, it will infect it and start dealing a pretty decent amount of damage to it. And since I've had that red vial since the last boss, I've stacked up a pretty large chunk of health. It's probably given me close to like, I don't know, I'd probably say at least 150 HP. It's pretty good. If you can get pretty lucky and get like multiple of those, and you just start getting a ridiculously high health pool, which is definitely a help. Oh yeah, I also have 3 of those glasses, so it's like, I wonder I have trifocals on. I can see everything. So this one I buy here is called gasoline, and every time I kill an enemy, it lights the ground around it on fire, which helps a lot during boss battles because the enemies group up so much. So stuff like my ukulele and any other kind of AoE abilities just kind of shreds enemies like that, where it kind of works where if you can kill one, it will kill everything else around it, which is so helpful. And here I'm trying to kill this thing by jumping up and down. And I finally get fed up missing all over the place in the second time up there. And yeah, eventually this game kind of gets to a point where you have so many different types of stuff damaging enemies that there's just a ridiculously large amount of numbers everywhere, and the game actually starts to lag, even though the graphics are pixelated, which is always cool to see. More ukuleles. I now have more than one per arm. There's no way I would be able to play all of these at once. And so that just means that I will proc that more often. I don't think it increases the damage. I'm not too sure. Some items like stack more damage, and some items stack more like procs. Oh, this one I probably forgot. Oh no, yeah. More glasses. I now have quad vocals. And now I pick up my first sentry. So this is just a little robot that will follow me around and shoot at guys. Very helpful. Although, I don't know, they tend to kind of fall off in usefulness later because they just kind of they can take damage, and they end up getting one shot later in the game. So this is a rehash of there are multiple types of bosses. I just kind of got unlucky and got the same one twice in a row. This is a rehash of the other one, but now it is electric. It also has a shit ton more health, as you can probably see at the number at the top. So the place I'm fighting isn't probably the best for my survivability because I'm in a kind of very small platform, which means a lot of enemies will spawn very close to me. But luckily, I have all these items that are just kind of proccing all over the place and adding a lot more damage than I could ever hope to do by myself. So yeah, the main reason that I don't like fighting this thing is it takes forever to kill because it's never there, it's always underground, so you just kind of have to take hits where you can get them. I mean, really, just look at all this shit. So luckily I'm pretty well powered up on this, where I can pretty much take most enemies out as they spawn. Especially the gasoline definitely helps with that, because the more I kill, the more damage it does to other stuff that spawns. The really annoying thing about the Magma Worm is that when it goes underground, the missiles reset their targeting and fly other stuff, so the missiles don't help you too much with killing it. Almost got it. So yeah, this is what I'm talking about. It takes forever to kill them. This is another one of my favorite items. It is called the Brilliant Behemoth, which makes all of your attacks deal explosive AoE damage. Which is very helpful for actually for boss fights, really. Fighting a lot of stuff. So I got another stack of barbed wire, which actually increases the radius that it will hit people as well as the damage. like about this game is every single item you get, there's kind of an effect where you can kind of see its active radius and kind of what it's doing. Like as soon as I got the barbed wire, there's more barbed wire around here. As soon as I got the missiles, there's a little target around me to let me know that's what I had. And right now I'm just kind of trying to go and find as many chests and clear out as much crap as I possibly can before moving on. It's got a really good soundtrack. That was one of the things that they're doing a Kickstarter for, is to hire the musician to do. So like as you can see, like the money, which was a lot of money, got me like no experience. So this is the third level that is a part of this beta. You kind of you get the levels in a random order. So this is the Discorded Force. This is always in the alpha. This is the first level that you play. So I'm pretty. This is like the one I know best. And the new enemy you get is these stone golems that take like a million points of damage. They're very tanky. That green up front, every time I hit someone with an ability, I get 2 health, which is very, very helpful for surviving also. And actually, once the difficulty gets up there, just kind of surviving day-to-day encounters. And now I have another one, which doubles the amount I get. Yay! Health. So as the difficulty ramps up, it also ramps up the amount of cash stuff costs and the amount of cash stuff drops. So I'm getting like 100 per kill, pretty much. Well, no, I'm getting around 50, so getting a lot of money. Which also depends on the enemy class. Like the larger stone golems drop a lot more than those little guys. Especially these birds. I think they're birds. These bird-looking things, which give you like none. Huge pain. They have a ranged attack that pretty much has, like, I want to say range of almost half the screen, so they're very hard to dodge. And they also, on top of that, have a lot of health. As you can see, they're kicking my ass and doing a lot of damage. But luckily, I have that consumer. Pretty much the main strategy I've found with this game is if you are out of moves that give you invincibility, for instance, jump. Yeah, I'm up it very hard at this point, which as you can see spawns a very hard to manage amount of enemies all the time. And so yeah, the turrets take damage, and every time that you get them back up it costs more money, so eventually they kind of become not worth it, just drain way too much of your money, and they die in like 5 minutes. I'd say once you get like past 25 minutes, they're pretty much worthless. Mysterious Vial, which is that green thing I just picked up, will give me a higher base health regen, which is always good. And I now have a ukulele for every limb on my body. I have them strapped everywhere. I have an armor made out of ukuleles. Kind of an odd choice. I think a guitar would be what more people would associate electricity with, but you know, each to their own. So right now in the beta there's only, or no, sorry, demo beta is what you get after the Kickstarter. give them, I think, $25 or more, you get access to their clothing. Right now, in this demo, there's only 2 classes. There will be up to 10, I believe. They've also implemented a local co-op, and I'm going to bring up the Kickstarter page and look. I think there's going to be up to 100 items, if I remember. Yes, 100 items, more levels. Let's see what stretch goals. Oh yeah, they've recently added an arena mode. There's also a item. There's also an item log and a monster log, which is actually very interesting stuff to read. This game has quite a cool backstory to it, which is very cool. And each item has like a ridiculously long amount of stuff talking about it, its effects, and most of them are pretty gruesome. So if you were paying attention, we found the teleporter actually quite a while back, so now I'm just kind of trying to fight my way back there so I can get the hell out of here. Yeah, I really wish the game would not spawn stuff behind those little launchers. So unfortunately for me, it's going to the majority of the enemies are spawning every these green guys, which are going to shred and shit. But on the plus side, this boss is probably the easiest one in the game. It's called the Wandering Vagrant. All it does is it shoots those little balls. All you have to do is pretty much walk. So if you can get away from all the other guys that spawn with them, you can pretty much just sit there and shoot them. You can't really do anything to you. As well as, just like the last boss, I thought this one has an element that leaves fire, red, leaving a trail of fire-looking stuff. And as you can see, it's pretty much gotten to the point of mine. All my enemies do are die, and now they cost like $1 each to get back up. So this pretty much becomes a test of kiting skill. Because as long as I can stay away and keep shooting stuff, I'll get 4 health back each time I hit. All I have to do is pretty much stay away. And now that stuff isn't spawning, I can pretty much have this. This is what I'm talking about. It's super easy to kill. And boom. And now I have more explosiveness, which is always good. More AoE damage. And as the difficulty ramps up, as you can probably imagine, AoE damage is what it's all about. And already this game has just become a ridiculous mess of stuff. So that's another consumable, consumable, I guess not a consumable, a reusable item. I prefer the fruit, it's the best one in the game, like, at least right now. There's also one that stops time, which is a little stopwatch. That one's pretty cool, and that one's a disposable rocket launcher that fires like 10 rockets, but that one's only good really if you don't have anything else, or like really early in the game where it like one-shots anything. And considering I already have 2 of these rocket launchers, I'm pretty much set. So, as this was one of the main ones in the alpha, I'm pretty familiar with this level, and I remember that over here, at this part of the level, there always at least spawns like at least 1 chest, so usually there's actually more than that. So now more barbed wire, yay! So yeah, as you can see, I'm stacking up a pretty ridiculous amount of barbed wire. I have an armor made out of ukuleles with barbed wire. And I guess, I don't know, rocket launchers and shit. It's a pretty neat game. Here are my last 2 enemies for the level. And so yeah, look at that. That's like, what, 1500-ish, and it gets me like a tiny amount of the bar. So at this point, the levels start, unfortunately, looping, because this is not a full game yet, and it was free. If you want to actually try this game out yourself, I'll have a link in the description for, I think it's just on riskofrain.tumblr.com, or their Kickstarter page, I'll also be there. It's quite fun. I would recommend you try it out if you're at all interested in like what you see. actually surprised that, like, usually when you get to around this difficulty, bosses just start spawning, and I'm pretty sure that doesn't happen. Because I've made runs past, like I've gotten to, I think the highest difficulty is called ha 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 ha. And I've made it past that far, and at that point, just bosses spawn all day, every day. All over the place. You can't really do anything. Other than run and desperately try to find the teleporter. Pretty much like the strategy of the game becomes at that point is you run to the teleporter, try to find the teleporter as fast as possible, because then it will stop things from spawning and killing you. And then it becomes a point of just run through the whole level trying to fight the ridiculous hordes of enemies. Yeah, I really hate this stupid mushrooms. Quite a pain to deal with. Yeah, look at all this crap. Whenever I shoot something, it's just a massive graphics and stuff happening. And missiles everywhere. And here I almost died by getting stuck on a ladder, which is great. The action hero's greatest enemy, ladders. Even more amounts of barbed wire. I think I'm up to 6 stacks of that. How much damage that does? I can't remember. And yeah, I'm racking up money like it's going out of style here. We're running out of stuff to spend it on. Yeah, you get a quite ridiculous arsenal as the game goes on. I got a freaking horde of these little bots following me around. I'm wearing 5 sunglasses upon sunglasses. And more robots. So yeah, they actually start dealing a pretty respectable amount of damage if you have, like, fun. And one of the nice things is when you use your rapid fire ability, which is a stun, any other thing that gets if something gets hit while stunned, it gets knocked back. And I think both the rockets and the robots also, or the little sentries also count as stuff that will knock you back, so you can keep stuff pretty far away from it. As well as electric damage, so like you can pretty much like jump, once you get enough items, you can pretty much like jump into a crowd of stuff and just push your R ability and it will knock everyone back. That's a, I think, poison. He's some form of powered up version of that enemy, and I just decided to say, no, he's got way too much health, screw this. You kind of get to a point where you just have to run because there's too many enemies spawning. Another thing that's missing from the alpha version is there was a little jetpack that made your jump height higher. Which kind of sucks that it's not in here because it kind of makes getting around a lot easier. Yeah, I'd say these little demon guys, other than like the base enemies, are probably like the easiest things to fight. Because other than when they teleport behind you and really that bad, considering that you have a roll and you have a lot of stuff that can deal with them. Right now I'm just kind of trying to get around the level and find as many chests as I can, or the teleport. isn't, doesn't quite live up to its name. It's not so bad. But yeah, if you take too long and don't have enough items, you kind of get screwed. And there we are. We finally climbed the teleporter. And another sentry, because you could never have enough. And for freak's sake, it's now. Oh, it's two of them. That's right. Once you get to impossible, it starts spawning two bosses instead of one, which is always fun. And yeah, this it's just becoming a jumbled mess of I cannot even see myself over the numbers. So many numbers. And there's also the part where the frame rate starts to slow down. Because this game has so much stuff going on, despite the fact that it's pretty much, I don't know, this 8, 6, 32 it's some bit graphics. There's so many numbers. I mean, look at all this. So yeah, sentries kind of get dunked at boss fights, unfortunately. So at this point I'm pretty screwed because I've used my consumable. It's not up for another 30 seconds. But I have one of the bosses down, I'm so close. But there I am dead. And so ends the tale of a man with 5 ukuleles. Anyways, so that was my kind of, I guess, initial impressions on this game. It currently is running through Kickstarter, and they have they've successfully funded, but they're doing some pretty cool stretch goals. So if you want to check it out, I'll have it in the description, and let me know what you think of this game. We might actually do an LP of this because it is getting local co-op, so that might be something for the future. Anyways, I'm the Catalyst, and I'll see you next time.